This show is brought to you by Victor Nawrocki Realtor, experienced real estate agent serving Disney and the greater Orlando area of celebratingflorida.com. Have you ever dreamed of living where the magic happens? Victor Nawrocki has made that dream come true for himself and others. One of the biggest decisions you'll make when considering a move is selecting a realtor who can successfully match you with the right home in the right location at the right price. If you're looking to buy or sell in the Orlando area, here's why Victor is the realtor you'll want in your corner. Victor knows the Disney area like the back of his house. By creating a free, no-obligation account on his website, celebratingflorida.com, you'll unlock the website's full potential and be able to enter specific criteria, save listings, and browse new properties sent to your email. Is it time to follow your dream? Victor is looking forward to helping you discover the real estate opportunities that are right for you in this beautiful and fun-filled part of Florida. Visit celebratingflorida.com today or view Victor's view at victorsvista.com and let Victor know the Solo Show sent you.
Pay attention, it's Joe time. Let's put on the show.
I am always ready, as you say, to put on the show.
My goodness, you're all staring at us. We better start the show rolling.
Please stand clear of the doors. Thank you.
Broadcasting from the Solo Studios, located in the winter wonderland that even Olaf the Snowman is getting tired of. Here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, the center of North America, on this little planet we call Earth, this is the Solo Show. On this adventure, Stan welcomes Bill Mitchell from the Disney podcast Monorail Tales to the guest host chair. They're talking about the fantastic programs on Disney Plus now and what's coming in the future. You want to stick around for this one, because if you don't, I don't get paid. So now, please welcome your host. It's a world of laughter. It's a world of tears. It's a world of hope. It's Stan Solo. I gotta go shovel my driveway now.
Hello and welcome to another edition of the Solo Show. I am Stan Solo as always, and joining me today is my very special. We've been trying to get him on for a while, and I don't know. It seems like his schedule and my schedule and Ken's schedule, it just doesn't seem to work out. But he's finally here. Bill Mitchell from Monorail Tales. Bill, welcome to the show, and tell me a little bit about Monorail Tales.
Well, Monorail Tales is a Disney fan podcast. We do, it's like 5 or 6 different hosts on it. We used to do roundtables. We're kind of getting rid of those. We do interviews of different interesting people. I did an interview a while back for a couple that spent 365 days in Disney World, living from resort to resort, and it's 2019. It's right before everything shut down.
I listened to that one. That was a really interesting one. They were great.
Yes, they were great.
They spent almost was it a whole year? Or
yeah, it was a whole year
in the Disney resorts, and they went to every resort and different categories, and they had all sorts of rules they set for everybody.
Yes,
yeah, that was a great one.
And we also do a once a month. It's a Disney Plus Take 3. Which is 3 of the co-hosts, Steve, Rick, and I, we discuss the shows coming up, a little banter back and forth, a little discussion, get off topic a little bit as usual, and let you know what's coming on and try to give you a preview of them the best we can. And then the latter half of that show, we usually go back into the vault and review either an older movie or one that just came out. Just kind of give our input in that, maybe find one that you're not looking at seeing or someone's not looking at seeing and they can watch it.
That's a good idea. I gotta do that. That's awesome. Who's all on there? You got Sheila and Rick and Ed. No, not Ed. Who do you have on there?
You got Sheila, Rick, Steve, Michael, Michelle, Jeff, but he's not flying from Cinderella's Castle as Tinker Jeff, and myself.
I can't pronounce Jeff's last name. I'll give it a shot. Jeff Monoterno.
Yeah, I think you got it right. I'll leave it at that, because every time I try to say it, it comes out wrong, even though I know how to say it.
Yeah, new rule for the Solo Show: you have to have a name I can pronounce. So we're here to talk a little bit of what Bill was talking about, Disney Plus. We'll kind of look back at some of the shows that we really liked, some of the shows we're really looking forward to. We got a huge list of shows that are coming out. Most of them they don't tell us. Disney, come on, they like to tell worse than I am, and. Just kind of general consensus that we're talking about. So where do we want to start with?
Well, I think the first part, at least for me, was is the older stuff that's on there. That I mean, not the new stuff that's coming, but all that older stuff. The first movie I watched on there was Pollyanna, because that was one from my childhood I remembered.
Mm-hmm.
So you have all the older movies, and then they sprinkle them in as each year. I mean, each month there's like, Three Man on a Mountain just came. They just released that. That's a 1973 movie, I think.
Okay.
And one, it's like I keep on finding like, I didn't know they made this live action is not animated, not live action is the new live action.
Yeah.
And then I guess the first one that came out was, just to hit it off the bat, series wise, was Mandalorian, that really brought a lot of attention and a lot of people to sign up for Disney Plus.
Yeah. Mandalorian is just phenomenal. That's like anything Mandalorian so much, and it just hooked you right off the hop of Yoda in the very first episode. Really looking forward to season 3. Now, have you heard any rumors or any talk of where it's going to be or what it's going to be like?
I've heard. I don't remember when the last one they thought it was going to come out. You always hear the rumors of this, the one stars making a comment they shouldn't have, and now they're not on it, and that kind of stuff. But I haven't heard anything that I recall specifically when it's supposed to come out.
Good. It sounds like it's not going to be later 2020 spring.
That's what something like that.
The other thing I heard with Mandalorian, I don't know if it's true or not, but I heard that it's going to be like a prequel, that it's going to be before the first episode. He's going to be going back into. So he'll still have the Razor Crest then.
Yeah.
Or spoiler alert. Have you heard that at all, or was I dreaming that?
It vaguely sounds familiar. I'll stop being ignorant here, but that would be a good idea. It's like, where are they going to go forward? And there's a lot of, if they do it right, the prequels could be good,
because he kind of ended himself personally a bit of on the low. Like, Boba's gone.
Yeah,
we're not going to see Cara Dune come back.
Mm-hmm.
Or Cara Dune. Baby Yoda's gone. The Razor Crest is gone. He's basically starting over anyways.
Yeah.
When he starts, if they go forward, if they go back, then he could kind of be established. He won't have his Beskar if they go back, so he'd be a bit more laser proof. So that's something to consider. I wanted to talk about the tiles that they have. They have Disney, Marvel, Star Wars, Pixar, National Geographic, and in Canada we have Star. Is there a Hulu tile in the US? Because I don't get to see that.
No, that's the Hulu's a totally separate. I mean, it's a separate, I guess, entity or whatever you want to call it from that.
Yeah,
so you have the Disney
a separate streaming service.
Service, yeah. I mean, you can get, like, I have it's Disney Plus, which has the ones you listed, and then Hulu, which is a separate one, but it's part of the an add-on, I guess. And then you also have ESPN Plus. I think I've looked at that once. Sports.
Yeah. I mean, I like my sport. I can't get ESPN in Canada. I can't get Hulu in Canada, but they gave us Star. So we have a Star tile, which is, I think, like, I have no idea what Hulu is. Like, so, and you have no idea what Star is, but I think they're similar. I think they're very similar. I think Hulu's probably better. We don't get any first run shows, Star. It's like we get like the original Alien movie. We got the MASH, the Old American Dads, Family Guy, The Simpsons, which is also on Disney Plus anyways. But so that's what Star is kind of all about, because people were asking, what is it? Well, that's what, and a lot of countries in the US that have that extra tile. Yeah. Now, the National Geographic tile, have you watched anything?
Yeah, I've watched some stuff, and there are some programs I like. They had Secrets of the Zoo was the first one probably where I started watching, because I loved the Animal Kingdom series they did, which I think they had 7 or whatever. So it was over. It's like, where can I get this? And I found the Secrets of the Zoo, which is a program from National Geographic on their live programs, live station. And then there's that one's in Columbus, and they have one that's in Tampa, another one it's in a down under one, and I think there's one in maybe Australia they have. And I enjoy watching those. So you get a little bit, like I said, the same thing with the Animal Kingdom one, you get a little bit the same kind of line. You actually get to know the character. I mean, the people of the park a little better. The vets, the animal care keepers, and even the animals themselves, you get to learn a little bit more about their personality.
Like the cast members and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's another one which occasionally I'll watch. They have all over the country. They have different vets. I think there's one in Canada and one in Alaska. There's a wild animal expert or whatever down in it's in Florida. There's definitely some interesting animals that are kept as pets in Florida. Floridians, but you always keep us entertained. So those are the ones that I like, and I really haven't. there's a lot of lots of programming they have that they're bringing over from national, older stuff, and also some newer stuff that's coming out that I haven't really had a chance to watch. And the way I look at it is, when I run out of everything I want to see on Disney Plus, I'll start exploring Nat Geo, and that's that hidden gem, that extra. I paid the cherry on the top of the sundae there.
Yeah.
Because
See,
their programming.
When I first heard National Geographic was going to be coming to Disney Plus, I was super excited because I really enjoy watching nature shows and those Earth shows and all that. I'm like, I'm going to watch National Geographic all the time, and I hardly ever watch it. I very seldom click that top. I did watch the Jeff Goldblum series that was on there, and there was another Animal Kingdom one too that was on National Geographic. I did enjoy that one, and I'm thinking to myself, I hardly ever watched that. I hardly ever click that tile. I probably should more. But would you be willing to pay less if they took that tile away, or you think it's worth it to have that tile there?
I mean, it's right now. I don't know what the price was or is in Canada. When I think when they first came out in the US, it was $7.99, $6.99 a month. Or it's like I signed up with the D23, and you got like 3 years. I mean, I'm like paying $5 or something like that for Disney Plus, and then so it's like, how much less more are they going to take off?
Yeah. If you only get 5, look at it that we could get that 3-year deal, I guess, eh?
Yeah, I mean, eventually, they're going to be up there in the same price range as, I think Netflix in the US is all 13 now.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, that sometimes, but it's always, there's so much great programming. That's the thing with National Geographic, just to watch some of their movies and their cinematography is amazing. Yeah. And so that's about maybe half the stuff that we talk about that's coming out each month is Nat.
Yeah. So let's keep it. Let's keep that.
Let's keep it.
You were wondering about how Disney Plus could reshape the way Disney does business overall. What do you think in that regard?
Well, the prime example I have on that would be like the Muppet, because you're a child of the 70s, the 80s. The Muppets was dear to your heart, and you go to the Muppet 3D, which is an older attraction at Hollywood Studios, and some of the younger kids are like, who are these? This is a cool show, but I don't know who these characters are. Mm-hmm. But Disney Plus came out. They had the original programming, the Muppet. Oh, I just lost the
Muppets Now, I think.
Muppets Now. I was going to say Take 3. That's the wrong thing. Muppets Now program, and then they also released, it was last month or the month before, the whole original Muppet Show season. Mm-hmm. So you have a chance where they can take a IP that's in the park, that's not, the Muppets never did what they originally wanted to do with them, and because the one reason, there's reasons why it happened, but it's kind of limited to one little area that's kind of holding on, getting pushed out by Toy Story, getting pushed out by Star Wars, Galaxy's Edge. Yeah. So it's something they can. Well, I've already seen it. It's like they went over to in Magic Kingdom for the in Liberty Square, so they're trying to expand it, and I think they can work hand in hand where they want to. They have this platform that also let's try to get this going, and then they can get more of an interest to go to the park or to that portion because of that.
So yeah, so I see what you're saying. So you're saying that it kind of it has the potential to make the Muppets relevant again, and it just might save the Muppet Theater at Disney Hollywood because kids will want to see it because they watched the Muppets on Disney Plus, perhaps.
Yes,
that's awesome. Yeah, that's a good. I never really thought about it that way before. I thought about things like they advertise. They're not advertising. It is an advertisement, but they show things from the parks, like the holiday parade. They show the Shanghai Disney opening ceremony, Disney Plus, and it gets people that may not be park goers, potentially could get people who may not be park goers interested. Like I said, it's you're basically paying for an advertisement that way.
Yeah. Something that Disney's famous for.
Yeah,
they're really good at. I mean,
they're really good at making people pay for advertising. So yeah, that's a really good thing to think about how they're going or how this all together. Premier Access. Are you a fan of that, or have you rented so far? There's been what, Soul and Raya and The Last Dragon, I guess, are the only two so far.
Mulan was too.
Well, yes, Mulan as well, right?
And so far we haven't. I guess maybe it's a movie that I can wait for. So far we haven't done it, but coming up, depending on what's going on with everything with the theaters and stuff, with when Black Widow comes out, that I will be willing to drop I think it's $29.99 in US
$40. Yeah, I agree. It's like Soul. I would have went to it in the theater opening weekend. Same with Raya and the Last Dragon and Mulan. I would have went opening weekend to those, but didn't want $40 for me to. I go to the theater for $10 and get a better experience. Well, maybe not. Yeah, I do. I get it. They have reclining seats and better popcorn.
Oh, yeah.
But I could see for a family, it's actually a bargain.
Oh yeah.
To get the Premier Access. So going forward, do you think they're going to, if the theaters open now, they've already committed that Cruella is going to be out May 28th on Disney Plus as Premier Access, and Black Widow on July 8th. So I the same way. I'll get Black Widow. I'm on the fence about Cruella. I get that one. I'd go see it in the theater for sure. Do you think now Disney on their call said that going forward, depending how people like the Premier Access, they may offer it in both theaters and Premier Access at the same time. Is that a good idea, a bad idea? What are your thoughts on that?
I think the only ones that potentially will get hurt on this are the theater owners.
Yeah.
I think for the consumers, it's a good idea because some people just can't go to the theater. Some people don't, choose not to for one reason or the other, so they can actually get the movie when it comes out and be able to talk to it with everyone else. Or if you want to go to the theaters, you can do that, and it helps Disney obviously because then they have a little bit more of a leverage with the theaters. Which I don't know who you want to choose to feel sorry for. I mean, you hate to get to the point where with the Premier Access through all the streaming services that theaters disappear because it is.
Well, that's just it. Could we get to a point where theaters say, "All right, Disney, get rid of Premier Access, or we're not showing you"? Could it potentially get to that point? In maybe not in the U.S., but I could see that happening in some countries, perhaps.
I definitely could see it happening. It just depending on the numbers they're getting from for the Premier Access and stuff like that. They might say, "We don't care. We're doing good. We're getting the numbers we don't have to deal with." I don't know the ins and outs of the movie business, but we don't have to deal with distributions and this and that, and splitting the profits and all that stuff. And
big lobby displays that mind you, when you compare it to the cost of making a movie, they are cheap. So. Yeah, it'd be interesting. I'm very curious to see how this ends up down the road with Premier Access and reopening. I don't know what's going to happen, but I got a feeling it's going to be people are going to have a choice. What's going to have a choice between watching it at home and the comfort and pausing it and whatnot, or going into the theater. It would be nice if you got some kind of code when you went to the theater that you could download once you got home to be able to rewatch it again at home. I'd go for that.
Yeah. That's when I would like to see it that way. I don't know how they work that out. I mean, would work that out, but I guess if you could do that and get the best of both worlds that way, and that would work for me.
Yeah, that would be awesome. That would be absolutely.
And speaking of, it used to be is like if you didn't watch in the theater, if you did watch it in the theater, you'd go out and buy the the VHS, the DVD, the Blu-ray, and we were actually just at store today, and it's like the Blu-ray DVD section is like so tiny. There's like no movies there anymore. So it's like you could either so program with like the Marvel stuff is like, oh, do you want to buy this? No, I have it on Disney Plus. Why would I buy this DVD that's because it's so much work to get up and go across the room, pick up the Blu-ray, and with me, like you have to unplug the one, plug the other one in. So it's like, oh, I could just do this.
Yeah. Were you purchase a lot of Blu-rays and DVDs?
Oh yeah, we did.
Still?
We haven't lately. We sometimes if we get a good deal on them at Christmas time or something like that, we'll buy them. But and I was trying to buy all the Marvel stuff as I got into Marvel like the last couple of years, and so we haven't. Well, stuff hasn't been coming out in theaters. So
that's
but it's like I don't want to buy any of the Marvel stuff because I have it on Blu-ray. We just did buy Spider-Man Far From Home because that's not on to break down to do that one.
The last Blu-ray I bought was Rise of Skywalker, and I did it as a pre-order and then COVID happened and they shut down the Disney store, The Blu-ray came out everywhere. And
Yeah.
I wasn't able to get mine. I had to wait until COVID was done because I prepaid it and I got a bunch of lithographs and extras by getting it. But that was the last one I bought, and I think the store was closed for like 3 months. I had to wait for, and I still think of it. And now it's on.
Yeah.
Actually, it was on Disney Plus before I was even got the Blu-ray. Before the store reopened, and I was able to. It was already on Disney, so I watched it on there one time, and never even opened it. So,
Yeah, I think I paid for a rental of it, like a digital rental of it, and then I probably did buy the Blu-ray of it, and it's on Disney.
yeah.
So I guess it's the same thing. If it's a movie I want, like Rise of Skywalker, I can't wait for it. I didn't catch it in the theaters for one reason or another, so I want to watch it, and I'll pay the $29 just for myself. Is kind of tough.
That's how I
Whereas-
feel. That's exactly how I feel. It's like $29. Like even Black Widow is going to be, and 20. It's going to be like $40 because they get the taxes and they get the exchange and all this, the upcharge. But it's all said and done, it's like $40. But I'll probably get Black Widow when it comes out. I'm not sure about Korea.
Yeah, that one I was excited for, but I don't think I'm gonna, spend for the premium. I'll wait on that one to watch it.
But if the theaters are open and it's in the theaters, speaking about things coming out, I thought we go through a list of some of the most of them they don't have. They just say they're coming out, but they don't give. And we already talked about Cruella, but Luca, that was originally supposed to be, is it not?
Yes,
So that's scheduled to come out June 18th. That's is that the two Italian brothers, is it not?
believe.
Or am I thinking
so.
something else?
I think you're correct.
Yeah, so that's scheduled to come out June 18th on Disney Plus, and it's not Premier Access as far as I understand. It's excited about that. And then we talked about Black Widow already. Just Disenchanted. It's not. There's no date on that one, but that one's coming. Is that a sequel, I guess, to Enchanted?
It's with On the Enchanted. I can't remember if it's a sequel, prequel, or
Yeah.
extension of it, but it has something to it. And I think they have Patrick. My daughter is going to get the original cast.
I've
Dr.
seen the
McDreamy,
original.
I think it is. She's into Grey's Anatomy.
Okay.
She just realized he was in that Patrick Dempsey. That's it, Patrick Dempsey.
Patrick Dempsey.
Oh, I didn't know Patrick Dempsey. We got to watch that movie, which it's not on Disney Plus. I did not know. Didn't know that the regular Enchanted was like.
Sister Act 3, is that, how many Sister Acts have there been so far? 2?
I thought there were, but I guess it must be a
Or
new
is this
one.
just a re-release of Sister Act 3 who's finally coming up? Peter Pan and Wendy, that's a new one, right? And that's again, they don't say when, they just say that it's coming. The Pinocchio live action, that was originally supposed to, so that's going to be coming. Droid Story, that's like a Star Wars animated shorts from what I understand.
Yeah.
About R2-D2 and other droids. What I heard is that's coming out in the fall of this Chippendale Rescue, which I believe on, or is it the original
Yeah,
one's
that's,
coming out?
I believe that's a new one with a little change in the animation style, kind of like they did with the
DuckTales.
Mickey Mouse shorts, which the pictures I have seen on that. I'm a big Chippendale fan, especially when they were with Donald Duck, but I'm okay with this new animation they have for it's kind of like it, so
Okay.
I'm good with it. Gives me my thumbs up.
But this is
what
like
that's
a
worth.
movie of Chippendale Rescue. It's not a
Yeah.
series, so that's going to be interesting. DuckTales is coming out also, but that's going to be a series. And I like the animation style in that one. That looked interesting too. New animation style. Cheaper by the Dozen, the reimagining of the original one. That's supposed to be. I never saw the first. I don't. You excited about Cheaper by the Dozen?
We saw it, my wife and I, back when it came out in the theater a long time ago, and it was a cute story. I mean, we'll probably watch it, with the family or something. It's nothing I'm looking forward to.
Safety. I have no idea what that is with that one at all.
Safety, I think, unless the programming's different between what they put out in Canada and US. Safety came out, at least on the US one, a couple of months ago. I think it's about a football player that went to Clemson.
Okay.
That's what that one is. I don't know how they sync up with.
Three Men and the Baby's remake of, I think it's a third week or something like that. Three Men and the Baby. I remember we seen the original one in the theater.
Long time. So
Yeah, with Tom Selleck and whoever else. It was funny. It was a funny movie.
Yes,
It might
it was.
be Hocus Pocus 2. A lot of people are excited about that one coming out.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a big one.
That's going to be really big. And I'm guessing that's going to be Halloweenish time, whether it's going to be this fall or whether it's going to be fall 20. Their Jungle Book 2016 is scheduled to come out on May 30th. It's not going to be. Lone Ranger coming out at the end of this month. Now, is that the one that did poorly in the box office? Is that seeing Lone Ranger?
I'm trying to think if that's supposed to be a remake or
Yeah,
they did
or is it the
poorly.
original for Halloween? And then Tomorrowland is scheduled to come out September 1st of this year. I thought that was out already on Disney.
No, it wasn't. And it's been, I think from when they started the program, started streaming or whatever, it was in there. You go and this is coming, and it had September 1st, 2021. And that's one, I watched it on regular network TV. It was like one of those I started watching late at night, and I'm like, oh, it kind of caught my interest.
Okay.
So I was like, I'd like to see it again, and went to Disney Plus. Oh, it's not there yet. That's
Okay.
just at least for the beginning. If you haven't seen it, you have to see the beginning of it, just because it kind of, that's the more part that beckons into the Tomorrowland and the park and some other things. But that's, if you haven't seen it, I would see it for the beginning. Hopefully you get hooked into it. It's not a great movie, but it's a good movie.
I started watching it twice in the theater on the Disney Fantasy Center cruise.
Okay.
And I fell asleep both times. and I woke up right at the end. I slept through the whole thing twice. I think I woke up every once in a while, just kind of looked up and then nodded off again. But my problem when I go on these cruises, people go on cruises to relax. I do the opposite. I'm running around everywhere. I'm doing as much as I can, getting, I only got 7 days. I got to get it all in. It's like, okay, it's midnight. Let's go to the theater. I've been up since 6. And by the time I'm in the theater, I'm out. But yeah, I went to it twice in the theater on the Fantasy and fell asleep. Some of the TV shows coming up. This one I'm really excited about. The Bad Batch coming out May 4th, which is, of course, the sequel to Clone Wars Season 7, first 3 or 4 episodes of the Bad Batch. Watch those first. The Clone Wars, Season 7 episodes. I think it's 1 through 4.
Yeah, if you're watching, just a word of advice, if you're watching the Clone Wars and they're just playing the next one, don't fall asleep, because then you won't know where you left off. And that's where I was watching it, and I fell asleep one night, and I was like, I have no idea where I left off, and it's like, did I watch this one? I mean, they're really good, but it's like and it's wacky, because I did get through the first, because the first season's really, because it's kind of how they did it. And it was like, and now I think I'm in the second season, and I'm like, no, well, let's put this one on the shelf for now.
I just love the Loki, June 11th coming out this year. That's gonna be a big one. Have you been watching Falcon and Winter Soldier at all?
We have. I'm 2 episodes behind because of with Easter and this and that. We haven't been, and that's one that most of the whole family wants to watch. Mostly my older daughter and I.
Okay.
But yeah, we've been watching that one. So
you watched 2 episodes so far?
Yeah.
Because there've been 4 so far.
Yes.
As of this recording. How about now? Did you watch the WandaVision?
Yeah, we watched the WandaVision, and
so what did you think of WandaVision?
Slow start. It was, I want to go back and watch the first 3 episodes just to watch what they did. Like totally. I mean, I know the backstory and stuff like that, but then once it got going, I really enjoyed it. The ending, it was good ending. I think they kind of wrapped it up too quickly. There was a lot of loose ends. They kind of just smushed together, I think. But I enjoyed it. Looking forward to in the future, because the WandaVision relationship, I just can't get my head wrapped around with that. But really got to know Wanda a lot better, and one of my favorite Marvel characters now. I'm looking forward to what they're going to do in the future with her.
I absolutely loved WandaVision. I got up at 3 a.m. and watched it every Friday. It was so good. I was all week. That's all I would think about is what's going to happen next week on WandaVision. What does this mean? What does that mean? And I was getting crazy. The sheets have patterns on them. They must mean something.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous how much we were getting into it already. And then I watched Falcon and Winter Soldier, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this show is so slow. I can't. I'm having a hard time with it. And it's like I can tell I'm not enjoying a show too much. I'm looking at my watch, wondering how much time is left in this. And that happens a couple times during Falcon, and then it ends with a cliffhanger. It's always like it gets really, really good at the end, and I'm like, oh, I want to watch the next one right now. And then the next show, the cliffhanger wasn't a cliffhanger, and it just drags. But the one that came out this last week, episode 4, was really good. It's like finally, I'm really enjoying. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. There's only 6 episodes in the series, so
yeah.
There's only two more left to go. 4 for you. The Mysterious Benedict Society, June 25th. I have no idea what that.
Oh, not really. No, I don't.
No? Okay. Well, we'll have to check that one out when it's June 25th. Monsters at Work. I'm looking forward to that. That's the Monsters Inc. kind of.
Yes.
Yeah, that one's good. Looking forward to that. Zenimation 2. I didn't know there was a Zenimation season 1. Have you watched that, or what is that?
I watched. It's basically what they do is like they take.
Is that the relaxing?
The relaxing where they take water music, and so they clip not all of it, but water throughout different movies. So it's It is very relaxing.
Yeah, those are actually pretty good. Yeah, I like that. I don't know if I get excited about season 2, but I was, Turner and Hooch, which is a new series coming out, remake of the original.
And I actually like the original. Looking forward to.
Yeah, that's July 23rd, Chip and Dale Park Life. I haven't heard too much about this coming out in July. I'm assuming it's a remake of Rescue Rangers, but now they're in a park.
Yeah, I think that's maybe I was confused with what we saw earlier with Chip and Dale. This is the one I think it's kind of like the Mickey shorts. I think I could be wrong.
Okay.
Where it's just continuing their story, and like the animation's a little different, so everyone will be, oh, I don't like this animation.
Oh yeah, let the people begin complaining now. What If, which is another Marvel one. This is going to be an animated series. I used to collect the What If comic books back when I was a kid, and they were always kind of interesting. And I know one of the stories is going to be what if Captain America's girlfriend there, or Agent Carter, I think.
Yeah,
what
Carter,
if
Peggy Carter.
Peggy Carter. I think it's Peggy Carter, or got the super serum instead of Steve Rogers. So it's those type of stories. It's like Marvel stories, but with a twist, kind of. I'm looking forward to What If. I used to love the comic book. And then Hawkeye, late 2021. Hopefully it's better than Hawkeye Winter, the Falcon Winter. So that's coming out late 20. The Book of Boba Fett, December 2021. I can hardly wait.
Yeah, that's the one that a lot of fans I guess he was in there not a lot in the movies, but has that cult following, so everyone's looking forward to that one. And
see, I was never really a big Boba Fett fan until I saw him in and now I'm just like, oh, I'm really looking forward to this. I always thought Boba Fett was cool, but some guys were like, what's your favorite character? Boba Fett. And then the Lando Calrissian series, they're working on it. Don't know very much about that one. I think it's set in the same series, same time zone as the Solo movie, is what I understand.
That makes sense.
Star Wars Acolyte, which is that the going like way back in, I believe so, eh? That's like before Obi-Wan, before Anakin. No, there's no date for that one yet. Star Wars Vision. We went quite quiet.
Should have done my research better.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We'll have to look into it. Star Wars Vision set for this year, fall, before Book of Boba. It might be. And then Ahsoka, any Star Wars fan, which is going to be a live action.
Going back to Visions. Visions will be a series of animated shorts films celebrating the Star Wars galaxy through the lens of the world's best anime creators. That would just visually will be interesting.
Yeah, Ahsoka, which is going to be amazing. That's the same actress that played Ahsoka in The Mandalorian, is going to have her own Rangers of the New Republic, which was originally rumored to be a Cara Dune standalone type movie. So that isn't happening. So is it going to be about the I don't know. We'll find out, I guess. That one's to be announced. Star Wars Andor is set in the same series, same time zone as Rogue One, been set. Cassian of Andor. That was on the list. There's a couple here coming up. I'd have Armor Wars. Are you familiar with that one? Sounds cool.
Sounds like it.
And
no, I'm not familiar with it. It sounds like a something on Nat Geo.
You know, you're probably right. I think that's what it is. I think it's guys they build their own armor and then they try to beat each other up. That sounds like what it would be. Yeah, I think you're right. Ironheart as well, when that's coming out. And then She-Hulk. Is that going to be an animated She-Hulk or a live action? I'm not sure.
I thought it was going to be a live action.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I could be.
And then Moon Knight. I remember at D23 Expo when they were going over all the Marvel shows coming out, and when they announced Moonlight and they put the Moonlight logo on the guy behind me got so excited and started freaking out so much that the Moonlight series was going to be coming to Disney Plus. I literally thought his head was going to explode. I don't know what type of pleasure he was having back there, but it was intense. And I was with a friend of mine, Scott Clark, and he was ready just to tell the guy just to shut up already. He says, that guy behind us, oh, did you hear him? I go, the whole room heard him. It was just cool. So Moonlight's coming, and some guy from D23 Expo sitting behind me is really excited about that.
He's gonna be excited.
There's a Cars B series coming up. Are you a fan of the Cars movies at all?
I watched like the first one. I may have watched the second one and kind of lost interest after that.
Yeah, I used to be a big NASCAR fan. I thought I would really like the Cars movies. I love Cars Land at Disneyland, and I think that the design and all the cars is really, really cool. But for some reason, I just can't seem to get, like, of all the Pixar movies, those are like my least. Well, Good Dinosaur. That's my least favorite. Doug Days, which is, I believe, is about Doug from Up.
Yeah, my animal, whatever it is, my symbol, Doug, squirrel, and
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be just shorts. I think they're going to
Spirit
be.
Animal.
I
Yeah.
think they're going to be like little clips type thing. What was it? The Forky asks a question. It's going to be like that type.
Spirit Animal. That's the word.
Yes. I have no idea how to pronounce this. Iwaju.
It looks good. I was gonna say Ayawaju.
I think you're closer. Do you know what that's about? I don't know.
It's a Disney. Oh yeah, I saw something. It's an African sci-fi.
Oh wow.
So
Okay.
that one's
Is it animated or live action?
yeah, it's animated.
Okay, that might be. Baymax is getting his own series next year.
Yes.
That's going to be good.
Yeah, I like that movie. That was one I watched later, and then I actually watched it on Disney Plus, and I like Baymax.
Yeah.
And how can you not?
I'm wondering now, is this going to be the Baymax superhero or is this going to be the Baymax Puffy? Tell me your problem. I prefer him over the superhero Baymax flying around San Francisco.
Just be going around giving band-aids to everyone.
Yeah. I hope it's that baby. Zootopia Plus, which is going to be a sequel or prequel or whatever it is. Tiana, which is, I'm guessing, Princess and the Frog series.
Yes.
That's scheduled for 2020. Moana series for 2023. I mean, this is there's a lot to get excited about.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's that's what they're putting, not all their eggs in their basket, but they are restructuring stuff to put their emphasis on Disney Plus and streaming platform. They obviously found out with everything that's going on and how much success they've had so far that it's obviously it has to be profitable for them.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they do this, and kind of lead into a little bit onto this is like I positives on this is like if this is me thinking, it's like if they have a lot of success with it, continued success with it, and profitability on this, that this is my dream here, my pipe dream, that like in the parks, where they were kind of going away from some of the things we love is Disney geeks with the cast member interactions, the shows, the Main Street performers, names are just dropping off my mind right now, but maybe they could just have fun in the parks again, not worry about jamming in as many people in the parks, limit that, make it back to the way people liked it. And and I think that's had obviously helped them through the pandemic with their bottom line. That's what I'm kind of hoping with this Disney Plus thing. As a podcaster that does a series with Disney Plus, we talk to about every month. I get excited because I got a lot to talk about.
Well, yeah, you're gonna be busy for a long time with your Monorail Tales Disney Plus segment, for sure. What are some of your favorite things that you've been watching recently, and what are you most excited about?
I'm right now the most excited about is the Marvel stuff. That's my thing I'm into right now. The different ones that are coming out with Loki and Hawkeye, and just trying to expand on some of the, they have such a, and that's why they bought Marvel, was there's such a large catalog of characters there and with great stories that, keep on going. Looking at the list, I'm excited. I was a Star Wars fan. And
was
well, no, I mean I was, and then I dropped off. I watched the first prequel. I mean, my brother and I were all excited. We went opening night in our theater in our town, and we were like, okay, that was okay. And then I don't even know if I watched the other two. Maybe I watched parts of the second one.
Wow.
And then the third one I know I didn't watch until I watched it again on Disney Plus. I'm like, going back without the high expectations, they're not bad, and you get the backstory. So it's like I kind of tapered off with it, and then actually Disney Hollywood Studios got me back into it. We went 2014, our first trip with our kids, and saw Kylo Ren walk by. I'm like, and I had heard the character, but I didn't know who he was because I bought the DVD for our Blu-ray for it, but I hadn't bought it yet. I mean, watched it yet. And I'm like, oh my God, that is what Darth Vader used to look like and feel like when I was a kid, and he still does.
Yeah.
And so looking at the new stuff coming out with Star Wars makes me excited that they continue in the like they did with the Mandalorian. If they keep on putting great programming out there with these, that's what I'm excited.
Yeah.
Plus, if you ever watch Disney or Take Three, the one I'm really looking forward that someday they're going to put out, there's the Swamp Fox from it was the 1960s with Leslie Nielsen from
Take Three. That's on Disney Plus.
No, our show Take Three. I keep on talking about every month. I keep on. I'm sorry. That's why
it should be on Disney Plus though.
It should be on Disney Plus, and every week is like when we get the list, it shows us what's coming out for the next month. I always go Swamp Fox, and that's not on there. Bummed again. So that's the one that has to come. But it's also, if you look into the catalog of Disney programs themselves, there's still a lot out there that they put on there. That's not even talking about the new stuff, the older movies that I'm used to when I grew up, that they still haven't put on there, that, there's a lot still to look forward to on that end.
Yeah. Have you been watching Mighty Ducks?
I haven't, but I want to. I never really was into the Mighty Ducks, the movies, but the series looks really good.
It is actually really entertaining.
Yeah.
I'm surprised how much I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it more than I am Falcon and Winter Soldier, which I didn't think I would be saying. You would say to ask me in January which one you was looking forward to, Disney Mighty Ducks or Falcon Winter Soldier. Are you insane? What are you even asking me that for? Of course. Yeah. Did you watch Prop Culture?
I watched a couple of the episodes of that. I watched the one with Mary Poppins, and I'm very interested. And then I didn't watch the other ones. I don't know why, if it wasn't something I wasn't really interested in. The storyline.
The Muppet one was really.
Yeah, I have to look at the Muppet one. I don't think I watched the Muppet one.
Yeah, the Muppet one was the first one I watched, and then the third one. They did a Muppet, and the Who Framed Roger Rabbit one is also a really good one as well. All of them were good. I just love that they did Pirates of the Caribbean one. They went to this island, and I guess there's still part of the prop that's in this bar. You can go. It's really neat. I just love the whole series. I go through this list of things that are coming out, and I don't see Muppets anywhere, and that's kind of disheartening. I was hoping that they were going to get. I mean, come on, Disney, give the Muppets an old beat-up theater. Each week, have a special guest. I'm sure you're going to have no problem finding special guests, and just do a variety show. Like it's not rockets, or give the Muppets what they should have. The Muppet Show. Bring back the old Muppet Show, the old format. Keep trying to reinvent the Muppets for some reason. Anyways, any final thoughts, comments?
It just, I'm just excited for what was out there, what I've been able to watch, excited for the future of Disney Plus, and what they have. And that's about it, is like just the whole, and I find it all interesting, not only the movies on there, what's coming out, and see how it'll affect the park.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, how it affects new people into the genres. Like my wife she won't watch a Star Wars movie with me to save her life, but she'll watch Mandalorian. She got hooked on Mandalorian. So
same at my house. My daughter and my wife both.
Yeah.
Same thing. Yeah.
And so, we haven't been to the last time we were at the parks, they were doing the cast member previews for Galaxy at Walt Disney World. So we haven't been there since they opened it. So now when we finally go back there, she'll be a little bit interested in Galaxy's Edge from the Mandalorian aspect of it that she went from before.
Yeah. I never even thought about that before. Yeah, no kidding, for sure. Like my wife and I, we went before Mandalorian, or before she got into Mandalorian. 2019 January was our last, and I've got a feeling she's going to be more interested in Galaxy's Edge on our next trip than she was on our. Where do you get to hear Monorail Tales?
Well, you can listen to Monorail Tales on any of your podcast providers, iTunes. I don't even know which ones there are out there. I just do iTunes, Stitcher.
Pretty much anywhere you get to hear the solo show, you can find Monorail Tales.
You can look up on monorailtales.com, and it's Tales, let me make sure I spell it right. I have it right here. TALES. And all our episodes are on there. You can click on there. We also have a section in there that's updated each month that has each new program that's coming to Disney Plus, broken up by specials, series, and movies. Really nice format, really easy to, and sometimes I go on there like, okay, I can't remember. I know I just talked about that, but when is this coming out? And you can go on there.
We should have went there before we started.
Yeah, we should have. Yeah, we only do 1 month at a time. We don't get too excited. So we have to wait for we're in April. We'll be recording the new show pretty soon. As soon as I am so messed up. When May programs come out, then we'll sit there and go over it. And you can also find us on Facebook and Monorail Tales.
Yeah, it's a fun group you got there, for sure.
And the group that we have. And we even let a few Canadians in there, so
the odd one.
I was telling Sheila, she's Brit, and then she went to Canada, and now she's in the US. And I was like, I have 3 people besides you now I can count as Canadians that are my friends on Facebook. So it's all your fault. No, I'm just kidding. You guys are really good people. No, I don't want to say.
You can't get the vaccine if our life's dependent on it, which it does.
Yeah.
but we're nice people.
We're nice people.
Anyways. Alrighty. Thank you for coming on the show. This was a lot of fun. I want to go watch Disney Plus right now.
Yeah, me too.
I gotta fire up the old player. Ken, take it away.
If you have a brilliant idea for a future edition of The Solo Show and would like to take your turn in the guest host's chair, then drop us an email at thesoloshow01@gmail.com. Tell us your idea for the show, and we'll contact you about a date and a time for you to join us. If you would just like to keep the conversation going or have a comment about a previous show, then visit us on Facebook at The Solo Show. All logos, sounds, and songs that are made by and for Disney and its affiliates are owned solely by the Disney Corporation and are not, nor are they intended to be, the ownership of The Solo Show podcast. We hope you'll join us for the next adventure on The Solo Show. Thanks for listening, and bye for now.